All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me. We're going to be watching the Crash 4 reveal trailer today. I haven't seen it yet, so you're going to be watching it live with me. I'm a massive Crash fan. I've been playing him since PlayStation 1 days. Loved the Insane trilogy that they brought out on the PlayStation 4 a few years ago. I'm just really excited for a new Crash game. Can't wait to see what's in store. So hope you enjoy.
Hey guys, it's Jeff Keighley. Welcome to Summer Game Fest. We've got a great show kicking off this week for you. I'm really excited to be doing yet another week of video game announcements. And one of the things... What is that sound outside?
I've got an extra special package for Jeff.
For those of you that don't know, that's Jeff Keighley. He's the host of the Game Awards. He's a very prominent guy in the sort of games industry.
Keg legs. I'm just messing with you. Jeff Keighley, come on out.
Not this again. I'm in the middle of a live stream right now. This guy always crashing my important shows.
Crashing.
This is, but let me tell you, it better be worth it.
Oh, he really needs a new security system.
Crash, I really don't want the dirt that you have on Cortex.
No. This is the Crash 4 trailer.
For real?
For reals.
Well, it's about
Nice
time.
to see Crash wearing a mask and observing social distancing.
Crash
All right, here we go.
Bandicoot. You banished me to the past.
10 plus. Interesting.
But all it did was give me more time to plan your doom.
Whoa. Alright, looks like Crash. So far, anyway. I love the choice of music. I'm really into it. Oh, so you can pre-order it now, October 2nd. All right.
This clown anyway. 3. Really? Only 3? Funny. Seemed like more.
I've always found it weird that Coco talks, but Crash doesn't.
That's right. There's the big news. Crash for a brand new Crash game. It is coming this October. And right now I am joined by Paul from Toys for Bob to tell us about the brand new Crash game. Paul, we have been waiting for so long for something new from Crash. Of course, Activision has done some amazing remasters of the Crash trilogy and CTR, but this is a brand new Crash game built from the ground up.
Those boxes, and that upsets me so much.
That's right. It's hard to believe, but it's been over 10 years since we've seen an original new entry into the series. So I'm delighted to finally unveil this secret that we've been sitting on for a while. It's the brand new Crash 4. It's about time, and it's a play on the fact that we've been waiting for so long, but also it's a game that's literally about time.
Yeah, I want to get into it because the trailer is filled with so much information. I mean, playable Neo Cortex, Coco, Crash, but I'm curious, like what
Yeah, that's nice. You get to play as Neo and
the remasters
Coco
of
as well as
but
Crash.
now
So
to
I'm sure there'll be
start
others
with
as
a new
well.
game, I'm sure so much trepidation about like what's going to be a worthy, follow on, calling it Crash 4. How did you guys approach this? Like, what kind of game did you want to build?
Yeah, I guess the first thing is we asked ourselves, where did we want to start? And though technically this is the 8th game in this series, all of the fan reception that was coming out of the Insane trilogy, we wanted to go back to the original trilogy and start from that. We're deliberately calling this Crash 4 because we want to key it off of the original trilogy that was developed by Naughty Dog. And that was certainly a high point in the series, both critically and commercially. And so that's where the events are going to key off of. We're starting right at the end of that when Dr. Neocortex, Entropy, and Uka Uka have been banished to this distant planet, and they finally
This game does
found a
look
way,
really beautiful.
after many,
I mean, it does kind of look
many
like
fruitless attempts.
every single
They've
other
found
game
a
these
way to
days
break
in the
out,
sense that it's super
and
colorful and super
in doing
bright,
so,
but
they've torn this gigantic hole in the universe and exposed the fact that there's a multiverse.
but you know, it's
So it's
Crash,
going to be
so
up to the Bandicoots, Crash, and Coco to
it kind of
restore that
works.
order by reuniting the 4 great quantum masks.
The gameplay style, I think, a lot of people were probably wondering, hey, Crash in 2020, how much of it is, the more linear, classic Crash levels, and of course now, like, people wonder, like, is it an open world Crash game? How are you doing it? Like, tell us about balancing kind of the old style of gameplay, which is certainly not broken. We love it, versus the tendency to do, new styles of gameplay. Based on the trailer, it looks like you're being kind of still faithful to the original style of Crash versus making it some big, 3D open world. But
Please
is
don't
that
make it
correct?
open
Like, how
world.
did you approach
Please.
the actual style of the game?
It doesn't need it.
Yeah,
Not every
that's
game needs to be open
absolutely
world.
I think what we've heard was that people
missing
have
so many
found
things.
that style of gameplay to be really refreshing to return to, and so we wanted to key off of that. And when we observe some of the other games and platforms,
looks really
and how
fun.
they've evolved over time, you're totally right. They've gone to a place where they're a little bit more open in
Assassin's
nature.
Creed.
And as a consequence, the challenges and things that you interact with are a little bit more sparse and spread out. It encourages exploration, and maybe there's a little bit more focus on collection and combat. But when we think about classic Crash gameplay, it's dense and it's focused, and it's really the streams of hazards and the challenges, the platforming challenges, they come, and there's almost a rhythmic quality to it and how reliable it is. And I know that for me, when I learn a level and I understand the nuance of the timing and the placement of all the different hazards, you can enter into a sort of flow state when you understand that kind of musicality.
Multiple playable characters. How are you doing that? Is it kind of like by level, or how, like we saw Coco and Neo playable in there? How does that work sort of in the scheme of the gameplay?
So Crash and Coco, you're going to be able to choose between them at any point in time, and they share the same moveset. Over the course of the adventure, you're going to encounter some new friends, some familiar faces, and you're right. There's going to be some new playable characters. We're teasing today.
I knew it.
Dr. Neocortex. He's got a completely different moveset from Crash and Coco. So where the Bandicoots kind of barrel through and they've got the ability to spin and slide and belly slam, Dr. Neocortex is he's a little bit more of a cerebral character. He's a mad scientist. He's got inventions, and he relies on his intellect. So he's got a ray gun that he carries around with him. And that ray gun has the ability to transmogrify hazards and enemies into platforms. And he can choose between changing them into a static solid platform or a bouncy platform that gives him access to higher elevations. So his gameplay and the levels that are built specifically for his moveset is going to be a completely different flavor. It's going to be a little bit more strategic, a little bit more cerebral. Yeah. And I think players are going to have to be a little bit more thoughtful about when to encounter a hazard, whether or not to change it into a platform, and what type of platform they're going to need at that point in the obstacle.
Wow. It seems ambitious that you're adding more elements to it, and then also you mentioned
it's nice to see that they've kind of
how do those
focused
work?
on the gameplay a lot, because
so
that's really
masks,
what Crash is about. It's about like the really super smooth,
adventure. They're sprinkled, they're scattered across
really refined
the universe.
gameplay.
We're going to have to rescue them from certain.
So they really need to
certain
make sure that you get that
bosses,
right
both
with this one.
familiar and new. The quantum mask, 2 of them that we're talking about today, is the time mask and the gravity mask. And masks in this franchise, they've got a lot of personality. They've got their own names and their own voices and their own powers. So the time mask, her name is Kapunawa. And when Crash uses Kapunawa, he's got the ability to slow down time to a crawl. So for obstacles that are beyond, just way too fast to interface with at normal speeds, he's going to be able to slow things down and then get past those obstacles. And in addition to that, he'll be able to get past nitro crates, which have traditionally been a one-hit, one-kill type of thing. But With the power of time, he's going to be able to slow things down, trigger that explosive, and then get out just barely before that explosion obliterates everything in its path. The second mask is the gravity mask, and his name is Ika Ika. So when Crash dawns on Ika Ika, he's going to be able to flip the direction of gravity and walk on the top of ceilings, walk upside down underneath platforms to get past impossible obstacles.
This game's going to be hard.
I'm really
I can
excited
feel
to
it.
play this, and again,
It's going to frustrate the heck
playing
out of me.
Crash back when the original PlayStation first came out, and you know, Activision's done a great job with the remasters, but to have a totally new game, I think, is what everyone was hoping for. And,
It does look really nice, though.
bringing
I
it
will
to
say
life.
that.
So, congrats for doing this, and thanks for doing it even from a work from home situation. It's awesome to see, and can't wait to get to play it later this year.
Thanks for having me. It's a great pleasure, and I think it's an exciting time for games, and I'm so glad that we could reintroduce.
It is an exciting
Crash,
time for games.
A new version and a new adventure at this time.
All right, there you have it. That's the Crash 4 reveal. I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing so far. I can't wait to play it. I definitely will be. I'm sure there'll be more kind of trailers and stuff revealed about it in the near future. It's really not that far away, October. I probably won't pre-order it. I do wonder whether it's going to be, you know, a full price game or whether it'll be slightly cheaper. That'll be interesting as to what they do price-wise with this game, because the Insane Trilogy was, I think, 40. So whether this is like the full 60 or not, I don't know. And I'm not really sure what I think they should do either. I think because if since it's a fully fledged game and a new game, I think it probably will be full price. But I think it will sell better if they do it cheaper. So that remains to be seen. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.